Well, Justin, let's talk about the housing market because I feel like that's another issue that has kind of taken the back seat, especially with gas prices, for instance. We do have interest rates. I think they're around 6.5%. Certainly, they've been higher. In the 80s, they topped 10%. So we've had it worse. But this is not the time of the 3% mortgage that a lot of people were fortunate to get. And we do have rising foreclosures. So, what should we be looking at there? And what do you think we can reasonably expect in the coming years?
Yeah. So, look, what do we need to build houses? We need to borrow a lot of money. So, the interest rate really matters. Well, it's gone up. And one of the reasons it's gone up is the budget deficit. Another reason it's gone up is because of inflation as well, and the ongoing supply shocks that have kept Fed policy tighter than they otherwise would have been. Second thing you need is a whole bunch of materials. You need wood and tiles and bricks and uh,
Labor.
I said materials. We're going to get to labor. See, what do you call the wall stuff? The stuff you make walls out of? Plasterboard,
Well,
drywall. Thank you. You can tell I've hung a lot of drywall. So drywall, a lot of that stuff's imported, and it's imported and paying tariffs. And depending on your house, you might need steel and aluminum as well, which have 50% tariffs. Wood from Canada is expensive. Drywall from Mexico got more expensive because of the tariffs. And then the third thing you need is labor. And historically, the construction industry's used a lot of immigrant labor, and they've been robustly discouraged from being engaged in that labor market. Apologies for the euphemism. Many people have been deported, others have been threatened. They've seen the writing on the wall, they've been told there's no economic future for you here. So if you wonder why housing's expensive, the three things you need have had three major policy shocks. And then if you needed a little bit of energy to get everything done as well, don't worry, we just bombed Iran as well. So yeah, that's a big problem. There's a lot of talk in economics now. We like to talk about the solution is supply-based, not demand-based. The first thing I want to point out is if you're thinking about that, I'll say more about that in a moment, but if you think about supply, that is actually about the costs. So it is about the materials and the labor. The second thing is, what do we mean by that? Housing prices are really punishingly high in many cities, and they keep young people out of the market. One set of policies that's often very popular is you'll have something like a first-time home buyer's credit.
mhm.
Well, imagine the problem is there's a house for sale in your neighborhood and there's an auction. That first-time home buyer's credit just means more people will attend the auction. It's going to jack up the price. It does the opposite of what we want. So what we need is not more people turning up on the front yard. We need more front yards.
Mm.
We need more housing. And so this is an insight. First of all, it's obvious to economics. Secondly, actually came out of the libertarian economists who are like, well, there's all these restrictions. It's very hard to build houses. Local governments get in the way. State governments get in the way. Environmental regulations get in the way. Boom, 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 boom. And then more recently, that view has been co-opted by folks on the left, the so-called abundance movement,
Right.
where it's liberals admitting the reality that supply matters as well as demand.
Mhm.
I think it doesn't matter which team's pushing it. The point's true. If you want lower house prices, the easiest way to do that is build more houses.
Right.